Dun 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 dun. Do you reckon HBO are gonna sue me for that? Oh no. Hey guys, I am Torchwood and you should know that or you are lost. Welcome to my Game of Thrones Season 5 review. I've been promising to do a Game of Thrones review in ages and I haven't got around to it, but this is it. I hope you've enjoyed the first Season 5 or the first season that we've been able to put up and not had taken down at all yet. And because obviously me and HBO had a little talk and we got things sorted by me agreeing to do everything they said and them nodding. So basically, I'm their bitch. This is my Game of Thrones review. I want to talk about storylines, characters, my favourite moments, most disturbing moments that we can come and see along the way. Or come and talk about along the way anyway. And so this is my first sort of TV review since Doctor Who way back in October. I'm going to make a TV review section because I know I do movie reviews. I might just call it reviews actually. That might be easier. I might just put them all in one. Be like a gift basket. You can have some tape and some little bows and maybe some marshmallows and pizza and hot dog. Anyway, I'm getting off the point. So, we'll start off with my favourite 3 storylines of this season. I think we have to go for my third favourite storyline, which is the Cersei High Sparrow storyline. This has been so well done and so well it perfected that it brings in all the major players. You've got Littlefinger, you've got Cersei, you've got Olenna. The only person missing is probably Varys, and then you've got the real 4 power manipulating, sort of playing the game, big shots in one area. So we had 3 of the 4 sort of conspiring against each other in like a weird love triangle. Though actually no, we shouldn't ever include Olenna in a love triangle ever. Or Peter Baelish. I still can't get over the Happy Fun Time World thing that they did with the crack humour. That made me laugh. Going off point. Basically, Cersei rocked the show. She was an utter bitch, as we love Cersei to be. She's the character you love to hate. And I think that, though I'll come to her little walk of punishment later, Lena Headey pulled it out the bag once again as the utterly hateable, yet somewhat charismatic bitch. And probably my favourite moment with Cersei and Olenna was the little sparring match they had where Olenna just went, Cersei went, "Oh, here she is, the famous Queen of Thorns," and Olenna replied, "And here she is, the famous tart." That was brilliant, and I really loved that scene. My second favourite storyline was the Jon season. He's had such a great season. Jon isn't my favourite character. He's nowhere near my favourite character. But I think this season he was certainly up there with my favourite characters. He brought a lot of depth, he brought a lot of emotion. Kit Harington did an amazing job of pulling off a very understated Jon, which I think is because Kit Harington is very understated in himself, so it can't be that hard for him. But also it was really nice to see like Stannis and Davos and Melisandre sort of trying to manipulate him to do other things, and then him like fighting back and saying, "No, I'm not doing this." We've got to talk about the stabby scene, but we also have to talk about the hard home scene. The hard home scene was amazing. It's quite easily one of the best 20 minutes of Game of Thrones ever. No, I'm not saying it is the best, but I'm saying it could be. The fight and the bit where he pulled out the Valyrian steel sword, which I did not know, and then you all sort of yelled at me in the comment section. Yeah, that was fun. So yes, it was sort of very great scene. You had a lot of characters playing. The actress who plays Kazi was amazing, and she brought a real depth to one character that we saw for one episode, and everyone was like, "Oh, I didn't want her to die. Actually, she was pretty cool, and what a fitting ending for her to be killed by all those children." But my top number one character of season 5 has to go to our little lady Arya. Although she's had quite a slow season, she hasn't been doing that much training. I'm kind of hoping that we sort of skip a little bit, maybe a few episodes in, we'll see Arya again, and she'll have been training with the Faceless Men. Still blind, which will make her even more of a badass. She'll get her sight back eventually, but she'll be able to do martial arts now, and she'll do a Thea Queen from Arrow season 3, which you haven't seen me watch yet, but I have. So I'm kind of hoping for that. So yes, Arya, and I will come on to a scene a little bit later about Arya that really impressed me. And Maisie Williams does an amazing job of playing her. Speaking of scenes that I was talking about, I want to talk about my most disturbing moment of the season, because we always have one. We had Oberyn's death in season 4, we had the reigns of Castamere in season 3. In season 2, did we get away with it in season 2? Did we? I think we might have done. I'm not sure. Season 1 we had Ned dying. Season 2, there's something's got to have happened that was disturbing. I haven't watched season 2 in such a long time. I've watched all the others, but I tend to avoid that one. Not because it's not great, it's just because the others are better. I think Blackwater was not that disturbing, was it? I can't think. It'll come back. But we've basically had a disturbing scene every season, and this time we got 2. Yep, 2, and neither of them were the ones we needed, because neither of them involved Ramsay dying. So we'll come to my I think they're tied for the most disturbing scene, and they are Sansa getting raped and Shireen getting burnt to the stake by her own parents, not parents of the year. In fact, probably not parents of the century, to be honest. So Sansa rape scene, I felt, while I couldn't understand it was in tone with the character, and I somehow feel that maybe it'll build her up to be a bigger character in the future, I'm not sure it was necessary. I'm not sure that we needed for that to happen to her, I could understand Ramsay maybe doing other things to her, like torturing her in some ways, but I get why the writers did it, because they needed to make the marriage, and they needed to show what sort of sick, evil, twisted bastard, because we obviously didn't know that already, Ramsay is, but I just think it was a little bit I think it was not appropriate. I'm not sure if we needed it. It was very disturbing, but hopefully it will make Sansa a stronger character in the future. But rape shouldn't have to be used as a purpose to make a character stronger. Usually characters can become strong on their own. Shireen burning to death. I had to take my headphone out for that one. I wasn't best impressed. I thought someone would save her, and I was really glad that her mum tried to save her in the end. I thought that was a nice little redemption arc. Especially considering the next episode she killed herself over Shireen's death. It was really saddening, and I think you really saw the pain, perhaps not through Stannis as much as you did through Davos, and you only saw Davos for like 3 seconds in episode 10, and you could still see that he was in so much pain from Shireen dying. And I think I'll miss both Shireen as the character and the actress, because the actress was actually 16. I cannot get over that. She's 16, that's ridiculous. But yeah, I will miss Shireen, and I can only hope that something good comes out of Sansa's rape, which sounds awful, but if you know what I mean, like, she becomes a stronger person for it. Though I kind of hope that TV writers can see in the future that rape isn't needed for characters to become stronger. In fact, it's not needed at all. We should be sort of just saying it happens, yeah, but we don't need to see it happen to a character we thought was getting stronger and then just to be pulled down once again. So I was a bit miffed off with that scene. Coming up for my top 3 moments, in third place we have the Jon and Hardhome scene again. Not Hardhome scene, sorry, the Jon and Ollie scene again, or as I like to call it, Jon and Satan. I have a friend called Ollie, and he is constantly telling me that he is actually the other Oliver who lives in the brothel, because he'd rather be that Oliver than be the little boy Oliver who killed Jon Snow. Maybe it was because I threatened to send him into the biggest fire the North's ever seen, but I don't know. So yeah, it was interesting to see sort of how that scene played out. I knew it would happen at some point. I did think that Jon might walk into Ghost, perhaps, but that didn't happen. So it's a bit awkward as to where they're heading now. I think they might miss John, and then he'll come back in the season 6 finale as Azor Halzali. I think I said that right. Apologies if I didn't. I'm not great at pronunciation of names. Arya, 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 Arya. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yes. So oh yeah. So that was my third favourite scene. Coming in second was Dany and Drogon. You'd think I put that in first place, but I have a special character for my first place. I think you can probably guess who she is. Oh, did I just give it away? Dany really kicks some ass in season 5, episode 9, where she flew off with Drogon. That was incredible. It was so cool. When she closed her eyes, I wondered whether she was summoning Drogon, but I actually think, looking back on it, she was preparing for sort of the end. You know, she was getting ready to die, and then you heard Drogon go, "Rah!" and you were like, yeah, and he came in and threw in a fireball, and you're thinking, oh, holy shit. The other thing I was a bit worried about was the spears piercing his skin. I was like, that doesn't seem very, you know, I was sure dragons were a bit tougher than that, but it didn't seem to really phase him. It was just like, it's a flesh wound. That was my dragon impression, I'm very sorry. So yeah, it was sort of like a very cool scene in itself, but I felt a bit let down by episode 10 for Dany, because yes, alright, she flew off on Drogon, but immediately Drogon didn't give a shit. Drogon pulled a level 52 Charizard and went, huh, you haven't got enough badges to train me, fuck you. And Daenerys was like, oh shit, and then she got surrounded by Dothraki, and that was pretty much it for Emilia Clarke, and then she went off to film Terminator. So not a great time for Emilia Clarke. Well, looking at the reviews that movie's getting, it's not a great time for Emilia Clarke. But she'll make money off it, so it doesn't matter. And in my first place, it was Arya and Meryn Trant. Never before have I been so satisfied in watching a little psychopath do what I can only describe as a Natasha Romanoff jump onto someone and stab them in the face. It's pretty damn cool, only we should all be worried that Arya's turning into this cold-blooded psychopath, and yet we're all sat there going, damn, that girl's badass. She's like really badass. So cool. So yes, that Maisie Williams pulled off an amazing job as a sort of unrestrained Arya that we haven't seen since I think season 3, where she stabbed the guy in the neck. Since season 3 where she did stab the other guy in the neck. She stabs a lot of people in the neck, doesn't she, to kill them off. That must be her finishing move. Neck stab. Thank you very much for watching this shorts review. Wait, it's not that short. In terms of ranking out of 5, you know, I'm going to put this at number 4 out of all 5 seasons. Above only number 2, not because it was a bad season, because let me just clarify, my god, let me just clarify that season 2 is still some of the best television that you can watch around. So that just says for the levels that Game of Thrones produce. Season 4 still sits in first place, season 3 in second, season 1 in third, season 5 in fourth, and season 2 in fifth. But that is no way a telling off for season 2, because it's still an amazing season altogether and beats quite a lot of shows' whole runs. Thank you for watching very much, guys. I think I've spoken about everything I wanted to speak about. If you have any comments, let me know in the comments section, I suppose. You can now follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I promise to post like a picture every 7 years. So I love you all. I will see you in the next video. Join me for some more not reaction videos, I suppose. We've got some challenges, we've got some viral videos, we've got some trailers, stuff like that coming up. I hope you really do enjoy this sort of new direction for our channel, and I love you all, and adios amigo.